Hi, Doug from Timecodes World here for this weekend, the 9th and 10th of October 2021. Fishing report. Okay, wow. Tomorrow looks pretty good. Weather's good for Saturday, Sunday so, and tomorrow morning is the pick of the bunch before it comes down a little bit windy around lunchtime. But in saying that, today was meant to be, I think it was around 8 to 15 knots from the east, and it actually blew like 25 knots, even maybe 30 out wide from the southeast. So I don't know where that come from, but it rocked up. And I couldn't see that on the map either. There's a bit of a high just to the east of us, but not that would bring in a southeast like that. But anyhow, it came from somewhere. So anyhow, let's talk about fishing. So this weekend, I would definitely be looking at going snapper fishing in the morning on the 18 fathom reefs if you're going to get a smaller boat, and getting out there very early. You've got low tide in the morning, the swell's not too bad. Just check it though on the wave rider buoy in the morning before you go out if you're going to go out early in the dark. It does get daylight around 5 now, so if you go pretty early, like around that time, you will have light to see the bar being at low tide, okay? So fish light, as in light gear, like sinkers, for the snapper and fish pillies. Soft plastics are okay as well, and soft vibes and stuff like that as well. So that's fishing on the 18 fathom reefs east of the seaway and south of it. 24s fathoms, a few snapper there as well, and the old cobia, parrot, and plenty of trag at night. Even though there's no moon, there's still plenty of fish there at night time, being trag Jew and odd Moses perch and stuff like that. 36 fathom reefs. Like I had a few guys that went up northeast earlier in the week. They got some snapper up there as well, some big trag, good parrot, and the current was running a little bit. But then I think it was on Tuesday or Wednesday this week, a couple of guys went to the 50s northeast. There's some good amberjack and kingies up that way, and east has been a few too. And these are big fish, like you're talking up to 20 kilo. Getting them on jigs and live baiting's been not too bad as well, but jigging's been really good. Fast jigging, not slow pitch style. But on the slow pitch style, there's been plenty of pearlies around, big ones too, like 50, 60 centimetre ones, in that sort of 95 to 120 metre depth. So just out past the 50s, just zoom in, look for wire weed, drop down, you'll catch them, okay? And they love slow pitch jigs or octo jigs and that sort of thing, around that 80 to 130 gram size. Trolling around the offshore waters at the moment, there's a few dolphin fish getting around the fads. They're either tiny or they're the odd big one, okay? You just need to be lucky when you get there to get the right one. I wouldn't suggest catching all the little ones because they're going to grow, as I keep saying, they grow really quick. In a couple of months' time, they will be the big ones. So just let them grow a bit, guys. But the marlin scene's been a little bit quiet. I haven't heard much. We've got a blue marlin coming up next weekend, I think it is, or the weekend after, with the Gold Coast Game Fish Club, the shootout, blue marlin shootout, which we used to sponsor for many years, but it was a great comp, a fantastic comp, and so everyone will be out this weekend scouting around, trying to find where the blue marlin are holding up, because it's only short term time till it happens, but there should be a few tuna out there as well. This is the time of the year we get them, so it's been a bit quiet on them as well. There's been not many upwellings in cold temperature, so in cold water temperature coming to the top, so it hasn't really been holding them at much at the moment, but that current is picking up, and we will start to get that sort of upwellings or whirlpool effect happening once that current gets a little bit stronger. That's probably about it for offshore waters at the moment. I'll be trying for dewies maybe at night time, but it is a dark moon, so just be careful of the weather and the swell at night time when you come back in low tide on dark. Okay. We'll switch now to the broadwater and jumping pin area. So we just had the Flathead Classic on last week, and we talked a bit about it last week, but the results were really good. We came third in Douglas Tackle World team. It's a great comp, and I just want to show you what we caught most of our flatties on, because the flatties are still thick as thieves out there at the moment. So what was our gun gear lures, because we're casting and trolling, but we're going to go more in the depth with this tomorrow. So just watch when we do we'll do like a, not a podcast, but we'll do like a little thing on Facebook tomorrow and YouTube, talking about how we done it and what we did. But just quickly, what worked really well for us on the soft plastics were two two products. One was a new product, which is the new Berkeley Powerboat Power Shrimp. These things kicked butt. I think we got like 37 fish on these in one day. Fishing other plastics as well, but these were just really, really good. And we included in that was some of the fish on these, which are the Samaki boom baits in this little 3-inch shad. It's a really good lure, and the whole range of colours is fantastic. Very natural bait fish type colours. The other thing which has been working really well for us and for a lot of people have been shrimps and casting up onto the weed beds, like only shallow water, not much run, and working really well. So anywhere from the big size, these are the new Berkeley Shimmer shrimps, which we just got in. And there's a whole range of colours and sizes. There's that bigger size, middle size, which is the two we've been using, and the smaller size, which is like that fellow there. It's a little fellow up in the flats and in those little ponds between the sandbanks. In the trolling scene, Redix have been probably our go-to lure, which are another Samaki product. They troll really well in that sort of 4 to 7 foot of water, or 1.5 to 2.5 meters. They work really well, and the natural colours will kick that one too. Little fellow there, if you can see that. There's a new one out from Rapala. I haven't tried this one yet, but I reckon on the jacks, there's a few jacks are caught this week, and a couple of barra as well, by the way, around the Gold Coast. But that fellow there is a new colour. It's quite a fairly big lure for a little diving. I reckon like cast around pontoons and rock bars and that's going to smack them badly. It's just got Jack written all over it. If you put the UV torch on it, it looks like the moon on the full moon day. It just glows. But they're Jack deep in the 7 size. Okay. There's a couple of new colours in Vibes that we did really well on Vibes, also during the Flathead Classic and prior to the Flathead Classic pre-fishing. I wish I had these two colours then. They just come out this week, but they're fantastic in the Vibalicious and the Smarties as well. And that's the Fusilier. It's just got Flathead written all over it, especially in dirty water. And this fellow here, which is a very UV colour, it's a great colour. He had that similar colour that one of the tackle world was called Whitebait. Or Whitey, sorry, it's called Whitey. It's a great colour. Okay, we'll work on the jacks too. But that's sort of if you got a couple of those lures in your kit, you'll smack the flatties up around the pin. So places to fish around the pin, which is going to go in more detail tomorrow. But just quickly, I'll be looking at, you got low tide in the morning, so you want to fish where the drains feed into the big banks. So whether it be Shitter's Ditch or Wally's Gutter, or any of the area around sort of Pandanus Island and the bedrooms there, wherever you've got those little feeder creeks that go and spread over the banks as the tide gets higher, they'll be stacked up in those little feeder creeks, and around them they'll be running from the main channel into those creeks and up onto the banks as the tide comes in during the morning. So you want to be at those little creek entrances at first light, which will be about 5:30 in the morning. And as soon as that tide starts running in, they'll be coming in. Okay, so that's on the flatties. The tail has still been really good in the jumping area as well. Try down around sort of northeastern corner of Crusoe, south corner of North Stratty, and around Klinger Bank, and all the way down to the sort of north heading west side of Crusoe Island's been a good area too. We've actually caught some in Tippler's Channel as well, so that's not a bad area as well. And you're getting trolled lures as well, folks. So give that a go. Plenty of whiting around Gold Bank. Once the tide gets high tomorrow, get up on top of the bank, fish a whiting or fish a big flatties with the casting lures if you want, and give that a shot. Crabs, there's been a lot of sand crabs around at the moment. Sand's been really good in the Tippler's Channel. Overnight's obviously best. And up around sort of slipping sands up to the inside of Russell, head up towards Canipa. Give that a go as well. Muddies, there's been a few in the Logan, in the deeper part of the Logan, and I would guess with the new moon and the big tides, you might be able to get up in the creeks and have a shot up the creeks to see if they're up there. Put your pots in at high tide and pick them up at high tide. give that a shot maybe. Yeah, but anyhow, that's sort of that area. Back down towards the Broadwater though, come down this way. All the shots have been fishing well. There's a lot of weed though, the Broadwater at the moment. It's really bad. I was out this morning and it was chronic. There's weed everywhere. So, because we've had those really big tides with the new moon, it's really sort of flushed that weed out of the creeks, and now it's in the Broadwater everywhere. The water is quite dirty until sort of halfway in tide. So tomorrow morning, don't expect it to be very clean until probably around 8 or 9 o'clock, okay? Before it starts to clean up, especially if you're down sort of anywhere north of the Roanoke Bay Marina or Crab Island. Once you get north of there, it's going to be dirty for quite a while. Anyhow, but give it a go on the flatties, but around Crab's been not too bad. Obviously, it's at all the shots, Browns Inlet, and even at the back blocks, sort of around the back of Coomba Creek and maybe Pimpamar as well. Give that a shot. Plenty of whiting around too. We've been getting lots of whiting the last few days. I've been out, 4 times I think this week, chased some whiting, just sussing it all out, and they're in the usual spots. Pimpamar's been really good. Coombe has been fantastic. And anyway, just out front of the boat ramp at Paradise Point, it's been good along the banks there, and heading up towards Century Cove, great fishing at the moment. Pimpamar's has been good. Nerang, at the Nerang River I think it was on Monday night, and we got about 15 or something. It's been not too bad as well. 18, I think we got. It's been good. We're just using beach worms, guys. So I used to dig mudworms. Hard work. My back's clacked. So beach worms for me is a lot easier to catch, and they work really well. Yabbies obviously work well in Broadwater, but once you get the rivers a bit, they don't seem to work as good. So I'll be going beach worms, or obviously if we can get them, mudworms. Up to you guys. So chase the whiting, definitely. On the beaches, I haven't had to go for whiting on the beach yet. I'll probably do that this weekend, if it's not too windy. And I'll be trying around sort of the Sandpump and Jetty, both sides of it, and back down towards sort of opposite SeaWorld and opposite Mirage, Sheraton there. In that area is really good whiting fishing. Down Narranac Bay is not too bad, and just north side of, south of Narranac, or just north side of Surfers Paradise is not too bad an area as well. When you get down further south, maybe try that around Nobby's Beach, and even down Chugan, if you can get that far down, and give that a go for the whiting, okay? Taylor have been a little bit quiet on the beach side of things. They're still there, they're just not as good as they were a couple of weeks ago. The water temps are around about sort of 22 now, so it's starting to warm up, and that'll push the Taylor back out into the reefs, into the colder water down a bit deeper, okay? And bream, the bream are everywhere. It's the bream in the canals. The jacks are starting, as we said earlier, and as I was saying earlier, Mickey Horn got a nice barra, and the Jackie got a double hit on 2 of the good fish in our local area. Barra are rare, but they definitely get caught in our area. Around about sort of 20-30 you get caught around the Gold Coast, up to about 1.10 metre, 20, like big barra. Okay, there's one we got the other day, it's about 80 something or 90 maybe, 180 maybe. Anyhow, good fishing, and give that a shot. Okay, in the dams and estuaries, in the dams and creeks, sorry. Look, it's been not a bad time for bass, as we know, with the temperature and that, but the barometer last week was horrid. Got down to about 1,000, I think. So the fishing was a bit quiet. I did see Steve Barrett went up there, I think, and got quite a few again. He's a good fisher at the Hinds Dam. But definitely worth a go this weekend if you get a chance, because the barometer has risen. It's about 1,015 at the moment, and it'll probably rise a bit more actually. So give that a shot over the weekend if you get a chance. Remember, it gets daylight earlier, so you need to get up there earlier, especially if you're land-based, and give that a shot over the next couple of days. Weather for a couple of days, as I said, tomorrow morning's a pick. Tomorrow afternoon is a little bit windy. Tomorrow night's meant to drop off. Sunday is meant to be around about that sort of 10 to 18 knots blowing, and then Monday comes in horrid. It's raining and blowing 25 knot northerlies. So Monday, Tuesday is a write-off. Anyhow, give it a go, guys, and look forward to catching you soon. Don't forget, this Thursday night we're doing our seminar on whiting fishing. If you're interested, we can only limit it to 20 people. I think we've got about 10 down already. So just see if you want to come along and book in. It is a fee for it. Just ring the shop tomorrow on our shop number at Dagbert's Tackle World, and the guys will book in. Okay, and you can also watch it on YouTube after we've done the seminar as well. And that's probably about all I got to tell you. Watch that podcast thing we're doing tomorrow on the flathead. Okay, catch you next week. It's Dagbert from Dagbert's Tackle World here on the Gold Coast. Don't forget to check us out on our YouTube page, Dagbert's Fishing Channel. Thank you very much. Bye.